Western Conference Finals in the NBA is now officially set. What is going on, y'all? Five Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA here to break down the Western Conference Finals, which, of course, like I mentioned, is now being set between the Golden State Warriors and the Portland Trail Blazers, who beat the Denver Nuggets in a very exciting Game 7 off a unreal performance from CJ McCollum, which I will talk about very shortly. Don't you worry about that. But before I do, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe down below and turn on my post notifications because you don't want to miss out. I've been posting videos all playoffs, and I will do so up until and including the NBA Finals. So you don't want to miss out on that. Also follow me on my social media links down below and on the video for my Twitter and my Instagram. With that being said, let's talk about the Western Conference Finals. Talk about my prediction on who's going to win this series and how many games, the key matchups, everything else in between. I'll break it down for you guys. Let's get started. So let's start off by me being transparent with you guys, as I always am, and talk about the fact that I predicted the Warriors to win their series against the Houston Rockets in 7 games. That ended up finishing in 6 games, and what a blown opportunity by the Houston Rockets, who couldn't win Game 5 with a hurt KD and couldn't win Game 6 with no KD, okay? And they're going home for another year by the Golden State Warriors, I think, for the last 5 years and 2 years in a row. What an awful opportunity that they missed. That was bad by the Houston Rockets, and a historic performance by Steph Curry in that second half, 33 points. Are you kidding me? Klay Thompson making big shot after big shot, hit a clutch three-pointer at the end. That's why the Golden State Warriors are so good. We get it. So I predicted them to win that series. They did. I got the number of games wrong by 1. And then in the Nuggets Blazers series, I had the Denver Nuggets to win the series in 6 games. They were up in this series, and they blow the last 2 games. I just don't know what happened with the Nuggets. CJ McCollum definitely happened in Game 7. He put up a historic performance by 37 points. Just absolutely carried the Portland Trail Blazers. Damian Lillard didn't do much in that game. That was all CJ McCollum, so props to him. He showed up and he showed out, and CJ McCollum is showing you guys that stop underrating this man, because he is legit one of the best 2 guards in the league that we have today. So great performance by him, and great performance by the Portland Trail Blazers to win this series. I didn't think they could do it, man. Without Yusuf Nurkic, their starting center, they've been able to beat an Oklahoma City team and now a Denver Nuggets team, 2 very good teams, and now they get to take on the behemoth that is the Golden State Warriors. Before I do so, like I just said, I want to give the Blazers props, man. You saw Dame crying after the game, walking into the locker room, just crying in tears of joy. This is what it's all about, man. This is what I love about watching this game. You got guys like Dame and CJ who've got chips on their shoulders, and they've been fighting for this. The Blazers, so many times people talked about they should break up the team. Dame and CJ can never win. And again, they've just gotten to the Western Conference Finals. But this is still an accomplishment for them, man. Nobody really had the Blazers getting to the Western Conference Finals as far as I can remember. I didn't, certainly. So I'm not going to give myself any credit there. So props to the Blazers, man, because this is why we love it. The underdog story is amazing to see here. So let's talk about it. Let's get down to business now and talk about this series. Break it down. Blazers, Warriors. Let's get into it. The number one story going into this series is by far the health of one Kevin Durant, who has suffered a calf strain in Game 5 against the Houston Rockets. So we don't know where his health is up. But I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that KD will be ready for the Western Conference Finals. The reason I say that is because he's had this injury before. Calf strain. He was out a total of 7 days. So I expect him to be ready for the series by the time it starts. I'll tell you this right now. If Kevin Durant is not ready for the series, or he misses significant time, you can pretty much say that the Blazers have a very, very good shot. And again, this is not breaking news here, but not just to, play competitively with the Warriors, but to win this series, okay? That's how big of an injury, again, it is to Kevin Durant. I believe so, but I'll get into that very shortly. But let's just talk about the fact that KD, I believe, will be healthy for this series, and he's good to go. And if he is healthy and he is good to go, he is going to be a problem for the Portland Trail Blazers. Not that he's not a problem for any other team, But for the Blazers themselves specifically, because when you talk about matchups and you got Dame and you got Steph, you can take either or. Dame's been out of his mind this year, and in the playoffs, Steph Curry, again, showed you who he is in that Game 6 against the Houston Rockets. Then you got Clay and CJ. Clay's been very good, but CJ's playing out of his mind. So those four guys, they can kind of cancel each other out. But then you've got the nuclear weapon in Kevin Durant for the Warriors. And this is where the Warriors are separated, okay? He is the nuclear weapon for the Warriors because nobody on the Blazers is checking Kevin Durant. Not Mo Harkless, not Al-Farouq Aminu, not Evan Turner. I don't care who it is. They can't check Kevin Durant. Nobody can check Kevin Durant. And ultimately, that is going to be proved to be too much for the Portland Trail Blazers because they won't have anybody to guard him. Now, then we get to Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala, right? Here's the thing. The Blazers are going to be starting Enes Kanter and Aminu. Well, they might start Zach Collins because Aminu has not been playing well. But I'll be very surprised to see if the Warriors stick with a smaller lineup like they did against the Rockets, okay? If you remember, in the first series against the Clippers, they started Bogut and Iguodala's off the bench. Second series against the Rockets, they started Iguodala to guard James Harden. In this series, I'm expecting Steph and Dame probably to guard each other. If not, then they'll probably put Clay on Dame, maybe Steph on CJ. But I expect Iguodala to be in the starting lineup, one, because he's been playing very well, and two, they need his defense against Dame and CJ because I don't think they can leave Steph or Clay, but mainly Steph, for long stretches on either Dame or CJ. So I believe Iguodala is going to be in the starting lineup. So they're going to go small, which means Draymond Green at the 5, which means Enes Kanter is going to be who he's going to be going up against. Now, can Kanter stick with Draymond Green? Enes Kanter's been playing very well this entire playoffs. He's made Yusuf Nurkic's injury pretty much non-existent for the Blazers with this play. So I expect him to continue to start, but this has been an issue for him in his career where teams have played him off the floor, right? He can't keep up defensively. So Draymond Green, could he do this? Could he force Terry Stotts to take, Enes Kanter out of the lineup and play a guy like a Zach Collins, who had a very impressive series against the Nuggets, especially last few games. So interesting to see that matchup there. But ultimately, I believe Golden State Warriors will be too much for the Blazers. Love the story for the Blazers, but again, when you've got the Warriors and the weapons that they have, it's just too much. And my prediction is the Warriors winning this series in 6 games. Look, I thought about 4. I even thought about 5. But if the Clippers and the Rockets can win 2 games, I have to give the same amount of respect to the Blazers and give them at least 2 games. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the Warriors to win the series in 6 games. Now, I will say, if Kevin Durant is out, I am very tempted to pick the Blazers. That's how much I believe him. The chip on their shoulder, man, you can't measure that. The heart, the grit, the persistence that they have. Because I know Damian Lillard wants this more than anything, and so does CJ McCollum. They're going to play their ass off in this series. So if KD's out, don't be surprised if Portland somehow, some way is able to pull this out. But I'm expecting KD to be there, and that's why I'm expecting the Golden State Warriors to win this series and advance to another NBA Finals. That's just what I think, folks. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. Who's winning the series? Is KD going to be in or out? Let me know. Leave your predictions down below. As always, thanks for watching.